What percentage of people alive today are diabetic?
9.3%.
Correct.
It will be a 20-25%.
2.1%.
I'd say like around 10%.
That's right, according to diabetes.org, 9.3% of people living in the world today have diabetes. That's 1 in 10 people. I'm Tom, I've been a type 1 diabetic for over 30 years, and in this video I teamed up with Ben.
Hey guys, it's Ben with Type Me, and I have been a diabetic for 14 years now. My good buddy Tom and I put together this video along with several other YouTubers you might recognize.
And because this month is a Diabetes Awareness Month, we're gonna share with you 10 things that people get wrong about diabetes.
But before we begin, I want to challenge you and encourage you to do your part this month in helping educate your friends and family about diabetes by liking and sharing this video. So let's get into it. Diabetes is generally separated into two types, type 1 and type 2. Which type is autoimmune?
Well, the type 1 is. It's the number 1 type. You don't want it.
Type 1 is autoimmune probably.
Type 2.
No.
Type 1 is autoimmune.
Type 1.
Type 1.
Yes.
Yes, you are correct.
Type 1.
Correct. That's 2.
So that would be type 1. But actually, there's more than 2 types of diabetes, just to put on my teacher's hat. There's a lot of other types. So LADA is actually, or type 1.5, is also autoimmune. So there's that.
That's right, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. But what is an autoimmune disease? We gave our respondents 3 options. A disease that attacks sugar, a disease that attacks body, or a disease that spreads through automobiles.
I'm gonna have to say C, a disease that spreads through automobiles? I'm really confused by these answers, so I could be wrong. I should know this being type 1 diabetic.
That attacks body.
C. No. A. A.
Okay. It is definitely a disease that attacks your body. B.
C. I don't know.
If it's a B, no, that's B.
It's B, yeah? Yes.
B, so a disease that attacks your body.
B.
Correct. God, that's 3. Jesus. I think you're cheating. You're looking at the answers. Okay.
See, I'm not cheating.
Of course, it's B, a disease that attacks your body, but I have to be honest, before I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I wouldn't know it either, so I can understand everybody that wouldn't know the answer.
I love that. That is funny. It's B. It's a disease that attacks your body, specifically for type 1 diabetes. It attacks the beta cells. But I like the automobile though.
That's right, an autoimmune disease is a disease that attacks your body. In a type 1 diabetic, the body attacks and destroys beta cells in the pancreas, and these can no longer produce insulin, which is a hormone that we all need to survive. Remember, there still is no cure for type 1 diabetes, and that's why type 1 diabetics need to take medicine. Now, type 2 diabetes is different. The body of a type 2 diabetic produces insulin still, but it's not able to use it efficiently. And that's why many type 2 diabetics can reverse their diabetes by living a healthier lifestyle, and that's good news. Next question, what medication do all type 1 diabetics and several type 2 diabetics need to survive? We gave our respondents 3 options. A, insulin, B, aspirin, or C, diphenhydramine.
Insulin, number 1 thing we need.
Okay, insulin I know for diabetes people take.
A.
Correct. The answer is A. Good job. All right.
Insulin is the answer.
A, insulin. Yeah.
Insulin.
Correct. 4 in a row. Joe, she's cheating. Did you get the answers?
It's A, it's insulin, what keeps me alive every day, and I'm so glad.
It would be insulin. So all human beings need insulin to survive, but if you live with insulin-dependent diabetes like I do, you need to inject it daily.
Yes, that's right. Both Ben and I need insulin every day. Otherwise, we wouldn't last very long. And we both use insulin pump, which is a machine that delivers insulin to our body 24/7. Ben, do you want to show your pump as well? Before the invention of insulin by Canadian doctors Banting and Best, diabetes was considered a death sentence. But do you know in which year was insulin invented? Was it 1951, 1931, or 1921?
Now they've just had the 100-year celebration, a centennial celebration on the discovery of insulin. So I'm going to go with 1921. Lock in C.
I think it will be 51 only.
B.
This one I know because insulin was invented here in Toronto at the University of Toronto in 1921.
I think A, 1951.
I would say B.
1931.
Yeah.
1931?
Wrong.
It's 1921.
It's 1921.
Yes, insulin was invented 100 years ago, so we celebrate quite an anniversary this year. Hit that like button if you're grateful for Dr. Banting and Best for this amazing invention. Okay, next question. What kind of animal was experimented on with insulin before human trials?
I know that we used pig insulin for a while before it became synthetic. But maybe dogs? I mean, dogs were the first to space, so maybe they were the first diabetics to have insulin.
It was a rat, probably.
A rat.
It was a dog.
What?
Dogs.
B, pig.
I say B, pig.
I have two animals in mind. One are pigs, but I think the first one was a dog, but I also have cows in mind. I would say it was a dog.
I think it was a pig. I'm not sure. I'm thinking pig or a sheep. I don't know why I'm thinking a sheep. Maybe it was a dog. Clearly, I don't know. But I think it's one of those three.
Yes, it was a dog. Now, as we said before, type 1 diabetics suffer from an autoimmune disease that attacks their pancreases. But do you know what in the human body does pancreas help regulate? Is it blood sugar levels? Is it pain? Or is it heat?
It helps. It does a lot of things, but I'm going to have to lock in A. Blood sugar levels.
Blood sugar level.
A. It's A.
Yeah,
It's A.
Good job. Good job.
Blood sugar levels.
A, blood sugar level.
So I would say A, blood sugar levels. So I think I'm doing pretty well on these questions. Do I get a prize or something? No, thank you for including me.
That's right, the pancreas produces insulin. One of the main roles of insulin is to help regulate and control blood sugar levels. Insulin prevents blood sugar levels from going too high. Now, we diabetics always need to calculate how much insulin we should take depending on what we plan to do. And what we plan to do is to eat. Now, most diabetics still use needles to prick their fingers to check their blood sugar levels. Do you know how many times a year, on average, does a diabetic poke themselves with a needle?
We poke ourselves a lot. We are a human pincushion. I'm not good at maths. 3 times 365 plus blood sugar, I don't know, 10,000? Is there an actual number for this?
Once in a 2 month probably is the prescribed format for checking sugar level.
So let's say that someone pokes themselves, to make this easy, 10 times a day, 365 days a year. So I guess 3,650 would be a reasonable answer.
I think C, 3,600.
About 1,000 times a year. Poke their finger like once a day, 365, but 10 times a day, and then 3,500. So it's, I don't know, it really depends. I don't know. I'll be interested to actually see the stats on this.
It may sound crazy to you, I know, especially if you're not a diabetic, but some doctors really recommend to take 10 pokes every day to find out what the blood sugar levels are. We need to take 3,650 pokes a year. Another option we have, if we don't want to poke our fingers, is a continuous glucose monitor. It looks like this, and we place it on our body, and it tells us what our blood sugar levels are 24/7. And the continuous glucose monitor usually lasts for 10 to 14 days. It's definitely worth it. But now, the key question, the most important question of this quiz. Are diabetics allowed to eat sugar? What do you think?
Yes, we need sugar. Sugar is that other thing that we really need.
Yes, in some quantity they can, but if it is the patient is on insulin or a high level of sugar, then probably she should not. And he can take sugar from fruits probably.
You ready for number 9? Okay.
Feeling real strong about it, Ben.
Okay.
Yes, because then you can regulate it with your insulin pen.
Hey! Good job. That was awesome.
Yes, we are allowed to eat sugar. We just have to give ourselves the right amount of insulin for it so that our bodies can process it in order to make energy.
Yes, they are.
We're allowed to eat whatever we want. So unless there's poison in it. It's one of those really annoying misconceptions about diabetes, but of course you can. It's a choice.
That's right, we can eat sugar. In fact, we need to eat carbohydrates that can be converted into sugars for our body to function normally. The main difference here is that when we do eat carbohydrates, type 1 diabetics also need to take insulin to prevent our blood sugar from going too high. Now, diabetics need to do a lot of math, and I hate math, but we need to calculate how much insulin to take so that we can keep our sugars at an ideal range. Are you good at math? Let's see how good of a diabetic you would be. Okay, here's the question. If a diabetic had to make a trip from the United States to Switzerland, but could only pack 10 pounds in his carry-on, which one would weigh more? 10 pounds of metal needles or 10 pounds of chocolate?
Man, I'm not good at maths. This is why they invented calculators to help diabetics, obviously. Oh, it's a trick question anyway. They're both the same.
Both will be probably same. 10 pounds is the same.
Exactly.
You're an accountant by trade?
Bruh. Don't hold me to that.
Okay. There's a math question for you.
Metal needles. 10 pounds of metal needles would definitely weigh more. But does the cheese already have the holes in it?
They're both 10 pounds.
Oh, damn, I just caught it.
Yeah, I got you.
I feel like this is a trick question because both are 10 pounds. So they're the same. I would pick the chocolate though over the needles.
Same white.
Yes.
It's the same. Yeah, exactly. It was a trick question.
Well, 10 pounds is 10 pounds. Go with the chocolate.
Of course, 10 pounds is 10 pounds, so both chocolate and needles weighed exactly the same. It was a trick question. So how many of these 10 questions did you get right? Let us know in the comments.
So remember, do your part this month and share this video with your family and friends so that they can learn more about diabetes.
And don't forget to check out Ben's channel. I will put a link to it in the show notes.
Ciao.